Welcome to my channel. I'm here doing a Storytime series where I had Vivian play this game and then I recorded voiceover to do my Storytime. So where we last left off, we are fast forwarding to 2016. We had 3 kids by then, our 2 together, and then my oldest with my previous relationship. We had bought a house, we had a dog and a cat, and lived in a nice little neighborhood, and things were going well. And then we switched phone companies, and one day him and I are sitting out on the porch, and we decide to check out, the phone service had an app, and you go on there and look at your bill, and so we wanted to see what it showed you. And so we went on there, and we're looking at each of our phone lines, and we click on mine, and we're looking at how much time I spend on the phone with my sister and how often we call each other during the day, and we're kind of laughing at that, and oh my goodness, thank goodness we have unlimited talk and text, because oh my gosh, I'm always on the phone. And then we get over to his line, and he has hundreds upon hundreds of texts per day from this one specific number. And I kind of laughed, and I was like, oh, that must be Roger, which was a friend of his that, he was always saying he was texting. He was always like, oh, there's Roger texting me again, or oh, Roger needs me to go do this, and Roger needs me to do this, and Roger just texted and asked me to blah, blah, blah. So right away, I thought nothing of it. I was like, oh, must be Roger. Well, as soon as I said that, he kind of got weird about it. And he was like, no, that's Tina. Whenever she needs me to pick up a load, she texts me. And I just kind of looked at him, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, you work days. Tina's not texting you at 9:30 at night or 6:30 in the evening or midnight to come pick up a load. Because he was a material handler. So for work, he did have, a coworker who did have to text him every time they needed him. But this was not it. So that set off alarm bells. But I didn't say anything to him. Instead, I waited till later on. I went back on the phone bill. I copied the number, and I pasted it into Facebook. And up pops Kelly, some girl I've never heard of in my life, but who also happened to work with my husband. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I tried to check out her profile, but it was pretty private. And so I did notice, though, I want to say it was her profile picture, there was a comment from him, and she had responded kind of alluding to him having taken that picture. And I was like, okay, this is fishy. So then I started making little comments to him about Kelly this and Kelly that, and he didn't know how I knew, but he was like, no, she's just a friend. I don't know why you always act like this. She's just a coworker. I barely even know her. And I was like, that's weird, because you're texting her 750 times a day, but okay. And so then he's like, oh, fine, I just won't text her anymore. Whatever, I won't text her anymore. And I'm like, okay, then you don't text her anymore. Good for you. So I was irritated. Clearly something was going on there. He's going to work every day with this woman. He's texting her 750 times a day. So, but then the texting stopped. I could check on our app every month, and the texting really stopped. And I was like, okay, interesting. So he had been sleeping in the guest bedroom for quite a while now. And he claimed that it was because his back was hurt, and the mattress in there was better on his back. Okay. So one night, I went to go say goodnight to him, and he had done something funny, or said something funny, and I joked that I was going to go hack his Facebook and post the status, because he used to grab my phone all the time and post statuses from my account, joking statuses and stuff, oh, my husband's so amazing, I'm gonna buy him a new Harley, stuff like that. And he freaked out. don't you dare touch my Facebook. And I was like, oh, okay, calm down, killer. So of course, immediately I was like, well, I guess I gotta check his Facebook. So that was back when Facebook and Messenger were not separate. Your messages were just on Facebook. So I go on Facebook, and sure enough, him and this girl are messaging each other. She's, hey baby, do you want me to bring you a breakfast sandwich with your coffee? Hey honey, can't wait to see you. I love you too. You know, just clearly these two were in a relationship. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I lost it on him. Told him I was done. I wanted a divorce. Not doing this. We're over. So he tells me he's going up to his dad's. He needs time to think about what he wants. I don't care what you want. I don't want this. I'm done. So he takes off and he goes up north. And while he's gone for probably 3 or 4 days. While he's gone, one of my best friends, who's a guy, his name's James, he happened to call me. He's somebody who I didn't really speak to that often, because his wife wasn't a huge fan of our friendship. So he only called me very sporadically, and he happened to call me that weekend. And I had not told anybody yet about what was going on, about finding out about my husband's affair, none of that. Because he did admit to sleeping with her, and, you know, it was a whole big thing. And so my friend had called me, and I'm telling him the whole deal. I go upstairs in my bedroom, and, you know, my kids can't hear it. And so I'm telling him the whole situation, and he kind of talks me down and tells me, you know, hey, don't throw away your marriage over this. You know, maybe he just made a mistake. Like, let him come home. Basically talks me into staying in my marriage. And so I'm like, all right, fine. I'll chill. I'll be calm. And so my husband comes back from up north, and he tells me essentially that he wants to be with this other girl. But he thinks that I'm going to just take the kids and go move out. And we're going to go get some apartment somewhere or something. And I'm just going to give him and her the house. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. That is not going to happen. You don't just get this house. Well, it's my house. It's my house too. We bought it together. We are both on the mortgage. We are both on the deed. You don't just get this house. So then, suddenly he wants to stay together. He wants to end things with her. You know, he's going to deactivate his whole Facebook, and, you know, just a whole big dramatic spiel. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to delete your Facebook. You could just not have sex with another woman. Like, it's honestly not even that hard. I do it every single day. And so he says that they're done, and, you know, he's going to work on our marriage and the whole deal. And so I'm like, okay, fine. You guys are done. It's over. That's fine. You know, but I will tell you guys that at this point, I kind of died inside. I didn't ever feel the same about him again. Like, I grieved our marriage, and I considered it basically over in everything but name from that point on, which is what made the later events, I guess, almost more bearable in some ways. But so, you know, I was over it. Oh, and I had also sent a certified letter to the husband of Kelly when I had found out about them actually, like, sleeping together. Wrote this whole letter out, told him everything, gave him my proof, gave him my number, sent it certified mail, had to be signed for, and it was returned to me weeks later as refused at the door. So I'm assuming she was the one who refused it, probably assumed that it was from me, and would not accept the letter. I didn't know anything about the husband. I couldn't find him on social media except for his name. Like, he did have a Facebook, but it was like an inactive one that was just kind of there, but he didn't use. It had no pictures, nothing like that. So I was like, okay, don't really know what to do about this situation. Like, there's no way to message this guy. Like, there's no way to do anything. So at that point, I was like, whatever, I'm just going to let it go. Just going to keep living my life, do what I have to do. And I just kind of left it at that. So I will tell you guys what happened next in the next video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. And Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or need clarification. Bye.